So I want to tell you something else about succession and using goats for clearing land. So we're on the goat land now, as you can see. This is where they graze. And from here you see that it looks a bit green, but if you look closer, it's at some places quite bare. But it's very close to the house, and that's where they hang out most. If you go down here, you see that there's a nice green patch here, and there's some grass and some plants, and it's because we feed them here, and all the seeds collect down here, and the little shitties of the goats collect down here, and these patches become green like this. And I'm going up a little bit more, so this is more up on the goat land. You see the goat place down there. That's the house, the goat place down there. And what happened here is we trimmed it, and then we left some wood on it. And the goats, what the goats do, they walk around and they make this little path. It's like little mini terraces, and as you can see, under these terraces things start growing. It's like that everywhere. And here you see like the first plants, like they cover the ground, so they shade themselves. You can see the tops have been eaten by the goats. And if you look very close to these little islands of green, then you can see here that all sorts of things are growing there. You can see two types of grasses. There is these paardebloemen, I don't know how they are in English. And then there's other things in there. There is another type of plant there. There's some lavender. There's some citrus roses. So what happens actually, they kind of open up the land, and I'll show you in a minute how they do that. And then they make this little alley that turn out to be little terraces that collect water. And on the slopes of these little terraces you'll find these type of greens. Here you can see how they proceed. They eat the tops of these bushes, these brushes, and then they lay it flat on the floor because they really want to have all the leaves that are still alive on it. So what happens, this all drops, and then in between things start growing because they are shaded. If I turn around, you can see a patch that they have been busy on longer, and you see green stuff appearing in between the brushes that they flattened. And since this is a bit denser than the other one, we're going to remove some of the wood, not all of it, because the wood help to make these little terraces, little paths in between, and then they drop, and then they kind of prevent the earth from going down. But this is a bit dense, so we're going to help it a little bit. We're going to help the succession a little bit. So this is what we do. We bring the goats out. They do their work. We help a little bit. We carefully watch what the earth is doing, what the greens are doing, and we make sure we don't have too many goats on it. So when goats do their route, when they walk, they go the same road every time. That's why they have these little alleys, these little paths. And they have their route, and then at a certain point there's nothing to eat anymore, and they change their route. And in the meantime, the places where they're not going to, things will start growing. Places like this, like in between the bushes. And we just carefully watch and see that we support these kind of greens to come on the land. We've got 5 goats on a hectare, and this is about the maximum number in this arid area, and we'll closely watch it if it's too much or too little. and we will open more land for more goats to do the same thing. And in the end, hopefully it will all turn green like the patches down there and the patches in here.